Jackson Thorne stood in the marble lobby of Creston Capitol Tower, his wife's warm hand on his chest, and then he spit in her face. Right there. In front of his boss. In front of everyone. The glob of saliva slid down Destiny's cheek as the entire lobby went silent. Her brown eyes, those same eyes that used to look at him like he hung the moon, just stared. Empty. Broken. I regret the day I met you, Jackson hissed, loud enough for his colleagues to hear. Don't you ever embarrass me like this again. Destiny didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just wiped her face with the back of her hand, turned around, and walked out into the Nevada sun. And that's when Jackson Thorne made the biggest mistake of his life. But here's the thing. Destiny wasn't who he thought she was. And what she did next. It didn't just destroy him. It erased him. Before we get into how Destiny took everything from Jackson, and I mean everything, smash that like button, drop a comment telling me if you'd ever forgive someone who did this to you, and subscribe because this story is about to get wild. Trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next. Now, you're probably wondering, how does a man go from spitting on his wife in a luxury high-rise to literally begging her for scraps in a parking lot 3 weeks later? Stick around. Because the answer involves a secret bank account, a property deed, and a phone call that made Jackson's knees buckle. Let's rewind. 3 years earlier, Las Vegas, Nevada. Destiny Calloway wasn't supposed to marry Jackson Thorne. Her best friend, Ramona, told her not to. Her brother, Kellen, told her not to. Even her grandmother, Yolanda, God rest her soul, whispered from her hospital bed, "That boy got cold eyes, baby. Cold eyes don't warm up." But Destiny was 24, optimistic, and believed love could fix anything. Jackson was 29, charming, and worked as a junior analyst at Creston Capital, a private equity firm that managed billions. He drove a leased Audi, wore crisp suits, and talked about building generational wealth over expensive dinners he couldn't really afford. Destiny worked as a receptionist at a dental clinic. She lived in a modest apartment in Henderson, sent money to her mom in Reno, and saved every dollar she could. Jackson liked that she was low maintenance. He liked that she didn't ask for much. He liked that she made him feel like a king without costing him a dime. What Jackson didn't know was that Destiny's late grandmother had left her something. Something big. The wedding. They got married at a small chapel off the strip. 50 people. Buffet reception. Ramona cried during the vows, but not happy tears. "You sure about this?" Ramona whispered as they stood in the bathroom later, Destiny adjusting her dress. "He loves me, Mona. He loves what you do for him. That's different." Destiny smiled. "You're just being protective." Ramona stared at her. "Yeah, I am. Because I know how this ends." She was right. Year 1, the cracks. At first, Jackson was sweet. He bought her flowers on payday. He kissed her forehead in the morning. He told her she was beautiful. But then the promotions started rolling in. Jackson moved up at Creston Capital. Junior analyst became senior analyst. Senior analyst became associate director. The money got better. The ego got bigger. And Destiny. She stayed the same. "Why are you still working at that clinic?" Jackson asked one night, scrolling through his phone at dinner. "It's embarrassing." Destiny looked up from her plate. "What?" "My colleagues' wives are lawyers, real estate agents, influencers. You're a receptionist." "I like my job." "You like answering phones for $12 an hour." Destiny set down her fork. "It pays the bills." "I pay the bills," Jackson snapped. "You just exist." That was the first time Destiny felt it, the cold eyes Yolanda warned her about. Year 2, the control. Jackson started controlling everything. What she wore, where she went, who she talked to. "Don't wear that to the company party," he'd say. "You look desperate." "Why are you texting Ramona so much? You married me, not her." "Do you really need to visit your mom this weekend? I have clients coming over. I need you here." Destiny started shrinking. She stopped going out. Stopped seeing Ramona. Stopped calling Kellen. She told herself it was temporary. That Jackson was just stressed. That things would get better. They didn't. Year 3, the breaking point. Jackson got promoted to Vice President of Acquisitions. Big office. Corner view. 7-figure salary. He started staying out late. Coming home smelling like perfume that wasn't Destiny's. Laughing at texts he wouldn't let her see. Destiny didn't ask questions. She learned that questions made him angry. But she wasn't stupid. She knew. And she started planning. The day everything changed, Creston Capital Tower. It was a Tuesday. Destiny had taken the afternoon off to surprise Jackson. She'd made his favorite lunch, Italian sub from that deli he loved in Summerlin, and decided to drop it off at his office. She wore a yellow sundress. Hair pulled back. Minimal makeup. She just wanted to do something nice. She walked into the Creston Capital lobby, all glass and chrome, 15-foot ceilings, modern art on the walls, and spotted Jackson near the elevators. He was laughing with his boss, Garrison Elwood, and 2 other VPs. Destiny smiled. She walked over. Jax. Jackson's head snapped around. His face went from relaxed to irritated in half a second. Destiny. His voice was sharp. What are you doing here? I brought you lunch. She held up the bag, grinning. Surprise. Garrison raised an eyebrow. The other VPs smirked. Destiny reached out to hug him. And that's when Jackson did it. He grabbed her wrist. Hard. Don't, he said coldly. Destiny blinked. Jax, I said don't. Garrison shifted uncomfortably. One of the VPs coughed. Destiny tried to laugh it off. I just wanted to bring you. Jackson spit in her face. The lobby went silent. Destiny froze. Saliva dripped down her cheek, onto her yellow dress. I regret the day I met you, Jackson said, loud enough for everyone to hear. You embarrass me. You show up here looking like this? Dressed like some small-town girl trying to play wife. Tears filled Destiny's eyes, but she didn't let them fall. Go home, Jackson said. And don't ever pull this again. Garrison looked away. The VPs said nothing. Destiny stood there for 5 long seconds. Then she wiped her face, turned, and walked out. The Uber ride home. Destiny sat in the back of the Uber, staring out the window. The driver, a woman in her 50s named Corinne, glanced at her in the rearview mirror. You okay, honey? Destiny didn't answer. Man trouble? Corinne asked gently. Destiny's voice cracked. He spit on me. Corinne's hands tightened on the wheel. In front of people. Yeah. What did you do? Destiny looked at her. I left. Corinne nodded. Good. Now go home and take everything that's yours. Destiny blinked. What? Men like that. They think you're weak. They think you need them. Prove him wrong. Destiny stared out the window again. And for the first time in 3 years, something inside her shifted. That night, the Henderson apartment. Jackson came home late. He didn't apologize. He didn't explain. He just walked past Destiny, grabbed a beer from the fridge, and sat on the couch. You shouldn't have come to my office, he said flatly. Destiny was sitting at the kitchen table, staring at her laptop. Did you hear me? Jackson asked. She didn't respond. Destiny. She looked up. Her face was calm. Too calm. I heard you, she said quietly. Jackson frowned. Good. Don't do it again. He turned on the TV. Destiny went back to her laptop and started typing. What Jackson didn't know. Destiny's grandmother, Yolanda, had been a property investor. She bought homes in Reno, Henderson, and North Las Vegas back in the 80s and 90s, when nobody wanted them. By the time she died, those properties were worth millions. She left everything to Destiny. But Destiny never told Jackson. Why? Because Yolanda made her promise. Don't tell no man about this money, baby, Yolanda had said. Not until you know his heart. And if his heart is cold, you keep it to yourself. So Destiny did. She kept working at the clinic, kept living modestly, kept pretending she had nothing. But she had everything. And now, she was done pretending. The next morning, Jackson woke up to an empty bed. He walked into the kitchen. Destiny was gone. On the counter was a note. I'm visiting Ramona for a few days. Don't wait up. Jackson shrugged and poured himself coffee. He didn't know that Destiny wasn't at Ramona's. She was at a law office in downtown Las Vegas, sitting across from a sharp-eyed attorney named Octavia Brennan. Tell me everything, Octavia said. Destiny did. And when she finished, Octavia smiled. Leave it to me. So here's where we left off. Jackson Thorne spit on his wife, Destiny, in front of his boss and co-workers. He humiliated her, crushed her, told her he regretted ever meeting her. But Destiny isn't who Jackson thinks she is. She's been hiding millions in property her grandmother left her. And now, she's done playing small. Let's get into what happened next. 3 days later, Creston Capital Tower. Jackson was having the best week of his life. His boss, Garrison, pulled him aside after a meeting and said, "You handled that situation with your wife well. Kept it professional. I respect that." Jackson grinned. "Just setting boundaries, sir." Garrison clapped him on the shoulder. "That's what separates the men from the boys, Thorne. Keep it up." Jackson felt invincible. He didn't know that across town, Destiny was sitting in Octavia Brennan's office, signing documents. Lots of documents. The first move, the house. Jackson came home that Friday to find the locks changed. He stood on the front porch of their Henderson home, key in hand, staring at the door. What the hell? He tried the key again. Nothing. He knocked. Rang the doorbell. Called Destiny's phone. Straight to voicemail. Then his phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "The house is in my name. Always has been. You have 24 hours to remove your belongings. D." Jackson's stomach dropped. What? He called Destiny. Voicemail. He called again. Voicemail. He kicked the door. "Destiny, open this door." A neighbor, Mrs. Patton, an older woman with a walking cane, poked her head out. "She's not home, Jackson." "Where is she?" Mrs. Patton smiled sweetly. "She said she's done being disrespected. Good for her." She went back inside. Jackson stood there, breathless. The second move, the car. Jackson's Audi was repossessed the next morning. He woke up in a motel room. He'd spent the night there after being locked out, and got a call from the dealership. "Mr. Thorne, your lease payments are 3 months overdue. The vehicle has been recovered." "What?" "I set up autopay." The account linked to the autopay was closed 2 days ago. Jackson's blood ran cold. Who closed it? The account holder. A Ms. Destiny Thorne. "That's my wife. She's listed as the primary account holder, sir. You were an authorized user." Jackson hung up. He checked his banking app. Account closed. His credit card. Declined. His savings. $43.12. Everything else, the joint account, the emergency fund, the investment account, was gone. The third move, the truth. Jackson showed up at Ramona's apartment, pounding on the door. "I know Destiny's in there. Let me in." Ramona opened the door, arms crossed. "She's not here." "Where is she?" "Somewhere you'll never find her." Jackson's hands shook. "She took everything, Ramona. The house, the car, the money." "Your money?" Ramona laughed. "Jackson, you didn't have money. You had her money." "What are you talking about?" Ramona leaned against the doorframe. "Destiny's grandmother left her properties worth over $4 million. The house you've been living in, hers. The account you've been spending from, hers. The car, leased under her credit." Jackson's face went pale. "You've been living off her this whole time," Ramona said coldly. "And you treated her like trash." "That's not." "You spit on her, Jackson." Ramona's voice was ice. "In front of your boss. In front of everyone. And now she's taking back what's hers. She slammed the door in his face. The fourth move, the job. Monday morning, Jackson walked into Creston Capital like nothing was wrong. He couldn't let anyone know he was falling apart. But at 10 a.m., Garrison called him into his office. "Sit down, Thorne." Jackson Saturday. Garrison folded his hands. "I got a call this morning. From our compliance department." "Okay." "They received an anonymous tip that you've been using company resources for personal gain. Falsifying expense reports. Misrepresenting client relationships." Jackson's heart stopped. "That's not true. We're opening an investigation. Until it's resolved, you're suspended without pay." "Garrison, this is insane. Clear out your desk. Security will escort you out." Jackson sat there, stunned. Who sent the tip?" Garrison's expression didn't change. "Anonymous. But it came with documentation. Lots of it." Jackson's hands trembled. He knew. Destiny. The unraveling. Over the next 2 weeks, Jackson lost everything. The suspension became a termination after the investigation found irregularities in his reports. Nothing illegal, but enough to justify firing him. He couldn't find another job. Word traveled fast in the finance world. He moved into a motel. Then a cheaper motel. Then his car. Oh wait, he didn't have a car anymore. He called Destiny every day. Voicemail. He showed up at the Henderson house. New tenants. He tried to track her down through mutual friends. Nobody would talk to him. The encounter. 3 weeks later. Jackson was sitting outside a gas station in North Las Vegas, holding a sign. Fell on hard times. Anything helps. He hadn't showered in 4 days. His suit, the one he used to wear so proudly, was wrinkled and stained. A black SUV pulled into the parking lot. The window rolled down. Destiny. She looked different. Hair freshly done. Designer sunglasses. Calm. Unbothered. Jackson scrambled to his feet. Destiny. Destiny, please. She didn't get out of the car. "I'm sorry," Jackson said, voice breaking. "I'm so sorry. I was wrong. I was stupid. Please, I have nothing. I need help. I need." "You need what, Jackson?" Her voice was steady. Cold. "I need you," he whispered. "Please. I love you." Destiny took off her sunglasses. "You spit on me," she said quietly. "In front of everyone. You told me you regretted the day you met me." "I didn't mean it." "Yes, you did." Jackson fell to his knees. "Please, Destiny. I'll do anything. I'll change. I'll." "You had 3 years to change, Jackson. You chose not to." She put her sunglasses back on. "Everything you lost. That was mine. The house. The money. The life you thought you built. I built it. You just lived in it." Jackson sobbed. "And now," Destiny said, "you get to live in the world you created. The one where people are disposable. Where kindness means nothing. Where you can spit on someone and expect them to stay." She started rolling up the window. "Destiny, wait. I don't regret meeting you, Jackson," she said. "I regret wasting 3 years thinking you'd become the man you pretended to be." The window closed. The SUV pulled away. Jackson knelt there in the parking lot, destroyed. 6 months later, Destiny sat in a cafe in Summerlin, sipping iced coffee. Ramona slid into the seat across from her. "You look good, girl." Destiny smiled. "I feel good." "You hear about Jackson?" "No. And I don't care to." Ramona grinned. "Fair." They talked about other things, Ramona's new job, Kellen's engagement, Destiny's plans to open a non-profit helping women leave abusive relationships. As they got up to leave, a man approached. Tall, kind eyes, warm smile. "Excuse me," he said. "I don't mean to bother you, but you dropped this." He held out Destiny's phone. She took it, surprised. "Oh, thank you." "No problem." He smiled. "I'm Callum. Destiny. Beautiful name. Ramona elbowed her. Destiny laughed. And for the first time in years, she felt light. Here's the truth. You teach people how to treat you. Jackson thought Destiny was weak because she was kind. He thought she needed him because she didn't flaunt what she had. He thought he could humiliate her and she'd stay. He was wrong. Never let anyone convince you that your kindness is weakness. Never let anyone spit on you, literally or figuratively, and think you'll just take it. And never, ever stay with someone who makes you feel small. Destiny didn't just leave Jackson. She reclaimed her power. And that's something no one can ever take from her. If this story hit you, drop a like. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Comment below, would you have done what Destiny did, or would you have given Jackson another chance? And subscribe, because we've got more stories like this coming your way. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. END.